Thank you, Daniel. Thank you all for listening. As many of you know, I quite like running. And I get the same question from colleagues, from friends, from classmates. How do you find the time to train? And for me, it's really not a question of time. And I want to try and convey that to you today and try and get some of you out there moving whilst on the MBA. Everyone knows the benefits of exercise. Everyone knows that it's really beneficial to them throughout the day. Yet they still consider it to be lost time. And I want to try and convince you first off that it doesn't have to be time lost out of your day. So throughout this, I'm going to use running because it's what I know, but you can apply this to many different forms of exercise. Learning. I listen to podcasts when I run. I catch up on the news. I even try to learn a language. Apologies to Spanish people for that. And I get inspiration off people. Okay, for me, it's a really useful way of kind of clearing my head, but also learning at the same time. When you exercise, you release endorphins. Everyone knows that endorphins are really good for you. But one thing that I learned recently is that they actually boost the brain's power to prioritize. So when you're running, it's actually a really good time, or exercising, it's a good time to plan your day ahead. Think about what you want to achieve, okay? And then finally, errands. When you can get past the fact that you might turn up to the bank a little bit sweaty, it's actually quite good to run there, okay? Or if you want to pick up a package, combine it with some exercise. There's no reason why it has to be lost time out of your day. You can make very good use of the time when you exercise. Now here comes a really fashionable word at the moment, okay? Mindfulness. Take from it what you will, but for me, running is a time when I really get to clear my head. And that not only benefits me at that time, but throughout the entire day. So let me try and convey to you what I mean by that. Here's a graph that I completely made up based on no maths at all. But it's my productivity on a typical day, okay, if I don't do any exercise. So I'm a morning person, so I reach my kind of peak productivity around 11 o'clock in the morning. If you want something done off me, there's the time to ask. But as anyone who's ever worked with me will be able to tell you, at this point, I start thinking about food. And then I eat, and that's me for the afternoon, or the early afternoon. So if you want something done for me, don't ask me at 1 o'clock, okay? But then I kind of recover a little bit, but then guess what? It's food time again. I'm back down here, and then for the rest of the evening, I'm pretty much useless. Okay, so that's me, and everyone's different, right? And it's very important to know this. Some of you, that graph might be completely flipped. I know some of you don't function in the morning, but do in the evening. Some of you might reach peak productivity at 3 a.m. Some of you might just flatline the whole time. I don't know, but basically it's really important to know when you work well and when you don't, okay? If I try and exercise in the evening, chances are I'm not going to do it. So that's why I try and do it in the morning. And the benefits of doing that, genuinely, I think are very significant. Throughout the entire day, I feel more productive, more creative, I feel more focused, and it's just because I've been out and done some exercise in the morning, made myself feel really good. And if you get really, really good at this, then you can move at lunchtime and dinner as well. And I'm not talking about going out and running half a marathon. 20 minutes, half an hour of yoga, of walking, of jogging, anything. I'm still shocked when people say they're getting an Uber into town from university. All right? Horrifying, absolutely horrifying. The thing is, though, I haven't told you anything so far that you don't already know. You all know the benefits of exercise. You know it will make you feel really good in the day. So why can't you get out of bed in the morning to go and do it? Well, I don't think time is the issue. I don't think you're thinking about time too much. But let me paint a picture. You're in bed. 7 o'clock in the morning, your alarm goes off, okay, and you've planned to go and exercise before class. Okay, familiar? Your human part of your brain is going, yes, I know the benefits of exercise. I know that if I go exercising, I'll feel great for the rest of the day. But, and I'm sure you're all familiar with this book by now, you know you're not alone in this conversation, okay? This guy comes along. And this is the emotional, irrational part of your brain, represented here by a chimp. And this is the one that's going, oh, this bed is quite warm, isn't it? And you know how cold it is outside. And you've only had 9 hours sleep. You're going to need another one, all right? Hit that snooze button and get back in there, right? It's all this guy, okay? It's got nothing to do with time. So, how do you beat it? And I'm taking this directly out of the book, so if you've read it, I apologize, but this is something that really has changed my mornings. When you wake up, you have a short window of time before the chimp kicks in, okay? It's about 3 seconds. You have 3 seconds to act, people, okay? So the first thing I did was get rid of my phone out of the bedroom, okay? I don't charge it in the bedroom, changes your morning completely. I really recommend you do that. Buy an alarm clock, and when the alarm clock goes off, count to 3. By 3, be out of your bed. It sounds horrific. I know, it sounds awful. But trust me, if you can get in the habit of doing that, then you will be a morning person for the rest of your life. And but by the way, when you get out of bed, don't turn your alarm clock off until you are up and out of bed, okay? If you fall back in, leave the alarm clock going, don't turn it off until you're up and out. So that's really good. And then second scenario is you're at your desk, you're doing an essay or a project, and you're really stressed out, you're not really getting anything done. So your human side goes, you should go out and exercise, okay? It will clear your head, make you feel really good, make you feel nice about yourself, you'll be more productive. But then the chimp comes along and says, whoa, hang on, what are you doing? All right? You can't take an hour out of your day to go and exercise because you will lose that time forever. You will fail this project, you will fail the MBA, and you won't get a job. All right? Obviously, that's all nonsense. Okay, so how do you beat him this time? Well, basically, if you sit there and think about going and exercising, he's going to act up. But if you just think about, and I'm terrible for this. Honestly, I'm so bad for sitting at my desk and thinking I can't be bothered to go out for a run. But I don't think about going for a run now. I think about getting dressed to go for a run. Okay, it's a little step towards getting outside, and I guarantee you, when you're in your running gear, rather than sat at your desk in your comfies, if you're up and in your running gear, you will go out for that run. You will go and exercise. Okay, so it's really not a question of I don't have the time to do this. It's about motivating yourself, and it's about convincing yourself that it's the best thing to do, and playing mind games as well with the chimp. So these have really helped me and motivated me throughout the MBA so far. But here are some extra things to try. Okay, we're all very busy people, and that graph I showed you at the start is quite important. It's important for you to know when you work well during the day. And bearing that in mind, if you actually schedule it in at the start of your week, you think, I'm going to go for a run this morning or that lunchtime, schedule it in and stick to it. Okay, it's a really good way for you to kind of remember to go and do that. Alarm clock, honestly, don't charge your phone next to your bed. It's terrible in the mornings. Charge it out of your room, buy an alarm clock, it's £10, and then you can just be away every morning within 3 seconds. All right, I challenge you, try it. And then when you want to go and you can't be bothered, just try getting dressed. You feel a lot better in your active gear than you will in your lazies. Commit with a friend, or better yet, many friends. Okay, if you have someone who you've agreed to go and exercise with, you don't want to let them down. You're much more likely to go out and exercise. Track your progress. There's lots of apps out there that will kind of allow you to see what your friends are doing. Strava is really good for running and cycling in particular. And that's what motivates me more than anything, is seeing my friend who's just gone and done a run. I can't let him get faster than me, so I've got to go out and do it and go and try and beat him. So that's another good way to keep motivated. But the best thing, the absolute best thing that I can recommend for you is to sign up to something. Okay, commit. Whether it be a race or an event, some fun run or inflatable run, whatever it might be, sign up to something and it will really motivate you to go out and get moving. Okay? 2 years ago, I despised running. I hated it. And now I love it so much, I feel the need to stand up here and tell you all how good it is. It honestly has changed the way I work. My productivity levels have gone through the roof when I exercise more. And I want you to remember, if nothing else from this talk, that above all the projects and internships you're doing at the moment and in your future careers, health comes above everything. Thank you.